play. To start with Dr. Manoj Beno and Gracian Govius. Gracian, to you first. Good old days, we used to visit people with gifts, and then you had cards, telephone calls. Then came e-cards, Blue Mountain, and the works. After e-cards came SMSs. Now wall posts. There's a clear degeneration of warmth with social networking sites. Do you agree?
I wouldn't call it a degeneration of social warmth. I would say that, time has become more precious to people these days. If you look at in the good old days, it would take you about 15 minutes to drive from, and that too in an Ambassador or a Fiat, 15 minutes to drive from Kilpauk to Adyar. Today, 15 minutes and you haven't yet come out of Kilpauk.
So you get your message across quickly. Dr. Manoj Beno, virtual, something that even they raised, this virtual anonymity here. There's no face-to-face interaction at all. People, in fact, stop relating to each other. They forget how to relate to one another.
There are gatherings, there are social gatherings that you can attend. There is a wedding where you can catch up, or you can plan something with your friend. And even that planning could actually be made through Facebook.
All right, point taken. Gracian, they say you should keep your friends, yes, through Facebook or social networking sites. It's also important, perhaps more important, to keep your job. 15%, there's a 15% drop in productivity. This is what various surveys have indicated, which is why it's banned in many offices. People are actually playing Farmville and Mafia wars instead of attending to work.
I have no answer for that, especially except that there has to be an inherent responsibility amongst each one of us.
Familiarity, they say, breeds contempt. But chatting with unfamiliar people, total strangers, breeds danger. All right? There is no proof of identity here. You don't know whether you're actually chatting with a guy or a girl.
Okay. This concept has been there not only with Facebook, it has been even there with general G-Talk or Hotmail or Yahoo Messenger or whatever. So if you are somebody who
you were
does not
talking
know
about social networking sites.
Okay,
yeah.
Social networking sites. So if you don't have the capacity to differentiate between which is genuine and not genuine, you face that risk anywhere, anyway.
The United States National Cyber Security Alliance, and I'm quoting from a serious survey here, says 74% of people divulge personal information on the net, on social networking sites. There's hacking, there's even stalking that's taking place. There is no proof required to prove. For instance, there's no introduction required. Somebody can just add you as a friend. Of course, there are privacy settings. Unlike a bank where even to open an account, you need somebody to introduce you. This, Gracian, is your emotional account.
You have to be careful, basically, with whatever you do.
All right. Dr. Manoj Beno, there's no sense of etiquette on social networking sites. People just add you as a friend. You don't know them from Adam. You have no mutual friends. There's no personal message, although there's an option given there. Sometimes when you look, you want to find out who that person is and the photo appears, it's either a baby picture or a picture of some dog or monkey.
See, if that happened to me, I will click on the ignore button and I will not accept that friend. If I make the mistake of accepting that friend and I realize it's a mistake, day after tomorrow I'll be wiser. I will remove that person from my friends list. Facebook also gives you those options, right? It's not like you're doomed to be connected with one person for life. If it doesn't work out, take that person off your list.
All right. Gracian, waste of resources, they say, especially company resources, people using internet bandwidth when they're supposed to be working in office. And also they say if you ban it in office, mobile, there's Facebook on the mobile. So how can you actually stop people from making the office a playground?
I have always been an advocate of taking a moderate path. Whether if you try to ban something, invariably you find the person reacting and doing much more with that, misusing that option much
All right.
more.
Champagne bottle theory. Okay, the more you suppress, the more you rebel. Okay.
Absolutely.
Dr. Manoj Beno, children, many of them are on Facebook. Pedophiles are on the prowl. We all know of several cases in Chennai also. Alan Horowitz, most wanted pedophile, was caught here by Interpol, most wanted by Interpol. We also know the latest case of Will Hume. Pornography is another serious issue. How do we protect our children from this?
An LKG child asks 10 times more number of questions than you or me used to ask when we were kids. They attribute these reasons as to, okay, probably because of intercaste, interreligion marriages, etc., better offsprings are produced, more intelligent traits come out of this. So when children are of this kind of an IQ level today, you cannot prevent them from what they want to explore.
It will
happen anyway. It will happen anyway.
All right, Gracian. Because of this online activity, our children today are not doing any physical exercise. The moment they come back, the good old days, they would play cricket or football or whatever. Now, of course, they watch cricket and they watch soccer. There's no exercise at all.
Don't blame the social networking system.
Who do we blame then?
Blame the schools which don't have playgrounds today.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one. Dr. Manoj Beno, last question to you. ScanSafe, an outfit in the US, says 1 out of 600 Facebook profiles are infected with spam. So a lot of your personal information could go out.
One has to be very careful about giving out personal information. There are plenty of privacy settings there. There is no scope on a facial network, Facebook social networking site for somebody to say, oh, I put up this information and see how people are misusing it.
Because
you
recently
can
a
actually
Harvard
filter.
professor also said that Facebook in fact uses this. I mean, there are people who get databases out of Facebook. This was an allegation by a Harvard professor, of course unsubstantiated.
That risk is there everywhere, okay? And people in the process, in the days to come, probably will find more foolproof ways for that. But I don't think that should stop people from using the network.
Jayashree, networking. You have a network of friends, friends of friends. You touch base with somebody, you pick up the thread with somebody you've studied with in kindergarten. You have groups, you have causes. A little entrepreneur who sells pickle or a florist can actually use social networking sites to good effect in terms of marketing.
If you want to reconnect to an old friend, believe me, you will do it. You will track her down or track him down no matter what it takes, and you will be able to find them. The problem is that we rely and we give this as an excuse, saying that through social networking I found an old friend. But just because of social networking, we never really took the effort to go out and find the friend in the first place.
All right. Vasu, you share memories,
Yeah.
you post pictures,
Yeah.
you forewarn others about various things. There are also birthday trackers. It's very difficult to forget your wife's birthday now.
That's okay. Now
I think
what
it would be
happens? is-
difficult to forget his wife's birthday in any case.
Okay. See, that is not the only way. Now, you say Facebook is certainly not the only way that you track all these down. You have various PDAs, gadgets, and other things which can do it. It's an excuse. It's purely a lame excuse that you want to get in these sites and other things. And a friend to everybody is a friend to nobody. Let me tell it very quickly. These people have 500, numbers. Do they wish for all their birthdays and other things?
Social networking sites have proved to be good online companions. There are people who chat, who poke each other,
Okay.
who comment. There's a thread.
Good.
They share their joys and sorrows.
Okay.
There are also agony aunts who appear on Facebook.
okay.
The grandma's remedies for cough and cold, all on Facebook and social networking sites. What's the problem?
Oh, that's great. Number one, he's a doctor, he gives expert opinion. I also give opinion, I become a quack. Okay. The information is not at all reliable as far as Facebook is concerned. And one guy says, I am alone. If you see the wall, connecting wall, it says, drink coffee. Okay. Next, one says, why don't you take a...
No, because a
Dola
lot
pack?
can happen over coffee, right?
Yeah, this thing. But the final comment, this guy says, commit suicide. I was upset with the wall. See, now there is a way I'm telling you, hey, I'm feeling lonely, man. That's taken care because you know my body language. I'm coming and tell you, oh my God, I'm feeling lonely. How do you know what lonely, what is the intonation, the modulation, gesture? You can never read that from the Facebook.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Jayashree, it's a stress buster. You can tickle your funny bone. It's a mood regulator.
Do you think that social networking sites are the only place where you can get this? I mean, the real stress busters are having live
But he said
conversations
there are no
with your
playgrounds in the
friends.
schools, right? So
So what?
Yeah.
Playgrounds are not the only place where you can,
where you can play. Okay.
Yeah, where you can take care of your stress. You can go out and meet people. Like you said, a lot can happen over coffee. How much time and space does it take? And then there you are
No, I didn't
drinking
say that.
virtual.
Actually, I was quoting a tagline of his coffee company.
Okay, and then there you are drinking virtual coffee, having virtual pokes, getting virtual hugs. I mean, give me a break. How much can that really bust your stress?
All right, let me ask you the second question, since you're a colleague in the profession of journalism earlier. The power to lobby, to get information. As journalists today, in NDTV Hindu, Facebook is not banned. All right, many of our reporters get information through Facebook. What's wrong with that?
I think social networking has been the main
You
reason.
yourself, sorry to interrupt, you yourself recently after that guard who saved many lives in the Vilupuram track, you posted a comment on Facebook. I was witness to that, where you said that he got only 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees and the value of each life is 5 rupees. It's a very telling comment. It's almost like an editorial. And that creates awareness. What's wrong with that?
Okay, I have two things to say. One is that some of the most recent controversies that have all erupted in the political or even in the film world have all been because of comments posted on social networking sites. So I think they do more damage. Policy cannot be made in a virtual space, believe
also
me.
wanted-
Policy has to happen with a lot of
You also
thought.
suggested that we all collect money for that brave guard through Facebook.
I did suggest, but I didn't get a single contribution on Facebook. I didn't get a single contribution for
You
a
got
guard.
many thumbs up, I saw,
But
okay.
I got a lot of people when I contacted them directly for something. I get a lot of responses. So Facebook, till date, it doesn't really achieve anything. That's what I'd like to say.
It's a talent hunt through Facebook sometimes. Yeah. You can even, with all your, your info page,
Yeah.
you can actually, update your profile. You can impress potential employers. You lose your mobile phone, you go to the info page and you get back all those numbers there.
Okay, that's great. As far as Facebook is concerned, you really interview a person for 3 hours. After 3 months, you come to know the reality who he is. Okay, on Facebook, he's put a lot of information. Somebody says, I'm Johnny Bravo. Now, where do I take in? He says, and every information that you read, it is now well prepared. It is actually, they copy it from some of the Western sites also. I asked one of my students, how did you, develop this? Sir, I pick up from everybody. One good part from every Facebook, and then he puts it together.
Okay, it's like Akbar's Din Ilahi religion. All right, Jayashri, good old days. We used to go around giving invitations to a party or to a wedding, a reception, whatever. Right? That would take more than 15 minutes to go to Kilpauk, is what Greshan said a short while ago. But here you have invitations online through these social networking sites. And for once, people respond to that RSVP. Either maybe attending or not attending or will attend.
I would like to differentiate between social networking and email. There's no problem in sending out an email invitation. The problem with social networking is that you're putting up certain information which is available in a public space. And email is still relatively personal and it still uses technology. I can save that 45-minute drive from Kilpauk to wherever and I can send out an email invitation. Point will get across just as well.
Fair enough. Vasu, instead of being anti-Facebook,
Okay.
why don't you use it to your advantage? Like, for instance, companies, there are a lot of employees who put up comments about their bosses and all that. Not so complimentary, of course.
Okay.
And also about the company.
Okay.
And a disgruntled employee can also, do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Here you can actually negate negative publicity through Facebook. If people are more on Facebook, you can negate all that.
Now, when my potential employer comes to know that I have made such a comment through one of the, probably a bootlicker, now now there's going to be revenge. That is going to basically happen in that case. Why would I use that? Why don't we use a one-to-one, face-to-face chat? That solves a lot of problem. In conflict solving, what do? We sit with face-to-face. We don't hide behind emails and Facebooks and when you hide behind a thing, you talk anything you want.
All right.
You become coward.
Jayashri, you also have LinkedIn. You have good sites, social networking sites, where you connect with the world outside. It's a tool. Why get rid of it?
The World Wide Web is different from social networking. Social networking necessitates a lot of personal information to be put up there in a public space, which can be accessed by a lot of people. This is a huge safety concern. And that is my concern. My problem is not with technology. My problem is not with the World Wide Web. My problem is not with the internet. We can't do with any of this. But believe me, we can do with a lot more safety online.
All right, last question to Vasu. Yeah. Don't you believe that we all need that little, you're a corporate trainer yourself, a little diversion. Imagine listening to a lecture for 1 hour or a presentation for 2 hours. Don't you think the little things, even during a seminar, if you have Facebook on your mobile, it breaks the monotony?
No, I would suggest
Normal is boring.
Now, if you want to do service, if you want to do relax anything, now you have humor club. Okay, and if you want to do service, there are so many.
You have to go to
from
Marina
Blue
Beach in
Cross.
the morning and laugh their guts out.
Yeah, there are people doing that. I know in Anna Nagar Tower Park, there are people, coming and laughing out. They include doctors, scholars, and other people. Laughter therapy is the best therapy. You sit in the Facebook. I don't think.
You have jokes
24
also on
hours
Facebook, by the way.
Jokes are there,
Yeah.
but I'm really sorry to say some of them are not jokes. Okay. You have to tickle yourself to laugh for that particular jokes, which a person might think it's a joke and put it over there. It's a serious problem. Do get into Blue Cross, get into Red Cross. There are so many things in your own community colony. There are so many welfare associations. Why don't be a part of them?
All right, don't enjoy yourself. Do social service. All right.
No, not. I think moral has been picked up in the wrong manner.
All right. On that note, it's time to get into a short break on SL Chennai Speaks Out Season 2. When we come back, that's the round that you will all look forward to. Both these teams will take on each other directly. No holes barred. Free for all. It's called Bowl Out. Stay tuned.